Here we go, come with me. There's a world out there that we should see. Take my hand, close your eyes. With you right here, I'm a rocketeer. Let's
fly. No one coming in. Okay. Clear prop. Hand on the mixture. Roll control. There we go.
Give me that information. Uniform time 11530, wind 2303, visible 210, sky clear. Temperature 282.24, altimeter 299.8. GPS runway 27 lock 27 right, approach in use. Landing in the partner was 27 locked in 27 right. Tower frequency 118.9, ground control for taxis on the 121.7. 5 FAR clearances, flight following and practice approach beacon codes. Contact launch delivery on 133.0. All aircraft read back all hold short instructions and assign altitudes. Attention all aircraft simultaneous approaches are being conducted to parallel runways. Notice to airmen use caution bird and wildlife activity on and in the vicinity of the airport. Runway 27 right, PAPI out of service. Advise initial contact of information uniform.
So instruments flat, marking L release, and we'll check them. And we'll do that now. Okay. Alright. Clear right, left.
There's a ride right there. That's the airplane.
What is that, diamond?
No, that's the,
My brakes are good. Your aircraft, your controls?
I have control. Here's how you do a brake check. Didn't even feel it, did you?
Sure I did.
Barely.
No, I see your point.
Your head shouldn't go like this.
I want to make sure they're working.
And the way the brakes work here, I'll explain on our taxi out.
Alright.
We do a brake check every time on an airline flight, but you don't feel it. You don't want to tip over the champagne in first class.
No? They wouldn't appreciate it?
No. But really, there's two master cylinders on the left side, and then there's a follower. There's a cable that goes to my side. So you're checking that the cables operate the master cylinders on the left side.
What happened? It seems I got more room today.
That's because I'm not as fat. Oh, here?
Yeah,
the citation's missing. Tell Robert that citation, I want to buy it. I can get it for like 350 grand.
That's all.
Yeah, but you get a couple guys, bam.
Yeah, I guess.
You got to have somewhere to go, though. The cross country's going to be, I mean, in an hour you're going.
Where's safe parking again, sir?
You're in Jacksonville, you know.
Number 6 Bravo Sierra, taxi to Reliance via Gulf Charlie Hotel.
So, I'm pushing on the right rudder and my turn coordinator indicator is showing that I'm turning right, so I know it's working. We're going to go stop at spot 2 right in front of us.
Spot 1.
See no one on the right.
Spot 1, thank you.
Alright, let's try not to tip the champagne. Back on the throttle.
And we'll go westbound.
Alright.
Ground Sparks 48.
Yeah, I'm on that. Let me also set my radius 121.50 and 1 in teen.
Actually, ground is 121.7. 121.5 is emergency.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Not what you guys set when you get off of
oh, okay. Yeah, you can do that. You can do it that way if you like. I see what you're disregard.
118.9. Alright. So the radios are set. Westbound.
Wind 230 altimeter 2998. 2 tower frequencies now. All aircraft departing runway 27 right. Tower frequency is 134.6.
You said right was 136?
1346. They're splitting this field now.
Ground Ram
36.
60 from clear spot 1, thank you for help.
Ram 60, appreciate you as well, sir, thanks.
134.6.
Tamiami ground, good morning, November 80587 at Spot 17 with information Victor for Southwest departure.
Now, since the change of frequency, that doesn't mean the 8 has changed.
Runway 27 left taxi via Echo.
27
Negative.
Via Echo, November.
And I put the runway bearing in here too while we're... 273.
Good morning, Tamiami ground. Skyhawk 997 Whiskey Whiskey is at spot 2 with information uniform, ready to taxi, westbound departure.
November 997 Whiskey Whiskey, Tamiami ground. Information Victor is now current. We're 2 tower frequencies. Windcom, altimeter 2998. The tower frequency on the north parallel is 134.6.
Roger, tower 134.6. We'll update on Victor.
November 997 Whiskey Whiskey, runway 27 right, taxi via Alpha.
Runway 27 right via Alpha. Skyhawk 997 Whiskey Whiskey.
Okay.
So I guess it did change it.
Once you've made, yeah, they did. So that would be out of a normal scheduled sequence.
Right.
Once you've contacted them, and I like that you're saying Skyhawk instead of November. We're in the United States. We should be in November. Once you've contacted them, you can shorten your communication by just saying 7 Whiskey Whiskey.
Oh, I thought you had to wait until they abbreviate. Because there might be another call sign quite similar to yours,
well,
like when we're flying.
Is that what it said in your...
Okay, I'll do that right now.
That's what it says in
the AIM? Oh, I just abbreviated.
Clear right. Clear left.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, and I do it also. I'm trying to focus on not abbreviating unless he does it.
The reason is because a lot of guys clog up the frequency. It's such a busy airport.
Right, okay.
And soon we're going to go to a call sign. I've applied for a call sign.
Oh, you did? So what'd you pick?
Well, I started with Tarpon.
Okay.
Barracuda was taken.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Redstone for the original Gemini flights. Eagle Jet, because we work with Eagle Jet International.
They don't have it?
And no, it's available. And also Shark and Friendship for Friendship 7.
Charlie at spot 2 with Victor for
27. Right.
51 Charlie, Tamiami ground. Runway
You can just
27 right,
go over here and way to the right.
Alpha,
It will be good. There's no wind.
134.6.
51 Charlie, 134.6, 27 right, rolling on Alpha.
Parks 48, I went ahead and put both up to step 3 as you had requested. Use caution.
That's good right there. There's no wind, so.
Okay.
That way you can still see the final.
Yeah, I was going to turn after, see final, make sure we're clear. All right, so let's do run up, right? Yeah.
Okay, before you do your run up, can I add one thing?
Sure.
Why don't we go to tower now? Because we're already at tower, and we can hear what's going on in the pattern.
I guess that's fine unless ground says stay on frequency.
Yeah, typically,
Typically, but I've heard some of them say, please stay with me until I release you.
That's if you're an IFR departure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's why he says it, because typically most people go to tower.
Okay. All right. So now we want to check that the engine, when it's revved up, is all in the normal operation. So, excuse me. So I'm going to go mixture full, holding the brakes. Go to 1800.
Miami Tower, land 7951 Charlie.
Alright, we're at 1800. I got 28 volts. My flow is good. Tanks are good. Temperature is in the green. Pressure is in the green. Vacuum in the green. Amp is at 0. We're good. Instruments are good.
51 Charlie cleared to roll 27 right.
So now I'm going to do the mag check. Going left. I got a 50 drop. Good. Back on both. Going to right, about 50 also, difference of nothing, reduce back to idle, well 1,000 I mean.
1200, you're going to lean again, yep, lean it, go ahead. They used to say a pack of Marlboros, so you can roll it out to about the width of a pack of Marlboros, right about there. Now you go a little bit slower. There it goes, crank it in, now back to idle. There you go, perfect. By doing that, before you taxi and after you taxi, we have 0 mag drop. I get in here and there's a mag drop because guys are keeping it lean the whole time.
Right.
Very important, especially in the summer. They add a lot of tetraethyl lead to the fuel, and lead is lead. It clumps on the This is so important, yeah, especially for someone like Robert, because he's got to pay a lot of money.
Right.
Well, we all pay a lot of money to do.
Left aileron goes up, right down.
Good.
Right goes up, left goes down. That's good. If I pull back, it goes up. And if I go down, it goes down.
Okay, here's what we mean by the box pattern. Come left, and if you can't remember which one goes up, thumbs will point to the one that goes up, or thumbs up, or sometimes guys might say up yours. But anyways, to the left, then I'm coming back, and you tell your passenger, because they're holding a Starbucks venti latte, look over your right shoulder and look at the trim tab in the back. Go ahead. See the trim tab? It should be flush. So now you're checking that the cable that runs through the entire airframe
is also
indicating properly. Now to the right, I'm coming right. Watch your legs, honey. And then right aileron is up, and it's a box. Yeah. And you do it the same way every time. Dunk, back, take a look.
We want to make sure the mechanic rewired correctly.
Yes. And it has it happened to a colleague of mine, and he was killed. Because it's just a belt crank, so if you put the top one on the bottom, when you pull back, the elevator will go down.
Oh yeah, it's that event. So, fuel selector on both. Make sure control full forward. We're going to be taking off soon. Make sure my flaps are in. Throttle. 18. Oh no, we did that. Yeah, magnetos we did. Engine did, and then. Checklist complete. Alright, before takeoff checklist. Alright, we're going to use 27 right. We have enough runway. We got about 5,000.
How about we use the exact number? 5,003 feet.
I was just going to say.
Because if you roll off the end of the runway by 3 feet, you're going to wish you had that 3 feet. And it sounds better. It looks more professional.
Yeah. 5,003 feet. We said we need about 1,000, so we should be good in that regard.
1105. It's 5,003 feet, 1,105 feet required, whatever you calculated previously.
Right. We don't have any obstacles except for cornfield.
Good. It's actually a tomato field, but look down the runway. It is. You'll see these guys. So the object here is, what obstacles do we have? Look down the runway and see.
Right.
Especially in a multi-engine airplane, because you're going to deal with those if you have an engine failure.
The only one we have is that weather ball, but that's about 3-5 miles away.
4 miles exactly.
5 miles. All right. No wake turbulence. I don't see anyone taking off. I doubt someone's going to be able to come behind me and go on the runway right away.
Question about wake turbulence. If we did have wake turbulence, would today be a more dangerous day or a day that it's windy?
I would say today. If you have wind, it's moving it across the runway and out of the way.
And if it's a 5-knot wind, it could roll it right onto the takeoff path or something.
Right, right.
Good.
I had to do that in Boca. We were landing behind a Falcon 900. Fortunately, he landed pretty far. We had to go like mid-field before we could touch down.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So windsock here looks a little west, but no speed. So crosswind is not a factor. Emergency plan. Prior to rotation, if we have an issue, we'll idle, put the brakes, try to stop and get off the runway if possible. If we have rotated, we're up in the air. If we're below 500, we'll try to set down in the grass area or 137 if we can manage that. Okay. Above 500, we'll try to do a 180 and land anywhere we can on the airport. Hopefully we can make the runway again, but if not, use a taxiway, a road, whatever.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Okay.
So our pre-takeoff briefing is complete. I checked the fuel selector already. It's on both. My flaps are up. Elevator trim we check is already in takeoff position. Avionics set. I'm still showing.
Actually, at avionics now, if you're doing an instrument departure, do you have where you're going? Are you going to go direct to a fix? Whatever you need to do.
Right, we're going direct KTMB.
Plus, just a quick way, you can check RAIM here, but if you turn this all the way to info, you can see yesterday we had all the satellites. Right now, one satellite is out. And if you ever need to set your watch,
okay.
Here's the present time.
ETC.
And if you ever have an emergency and you're out over the ocean, we're north 2539.16, west 08025.49 or 50.
Yeah.
You give you your present position at all times.
And that's the last page?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. good to know. Cabin door. I'm gonna close my window now. Don't want to be distracted when we're taking off. You'll close yours on takeoff, I assume. Parking brake. I'll release when we're ready to go. Seatbelt, I check. My seat should be locked position. Yep. Traffic. I got nothing here. I'll move in so we can look at final. And before takeoff, complete.
Hey, you can do the final items also, except for the mixture. I'm going to be on COM 2.
Final item, we're going to put the landing light. Do you want me to put the strobe right now?
Yes, please.
All right.
That way all you got to do is push the mix. Actually, you don't need to do the mixture yet. Do that when you get on the runway.
Yeah, I always forget though on the runway.
You won't forget, because when you bring your power, we'll go blah, 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 blah.
Right. Transponder. On altitude mode, we're on 1200. And so I did that. Pitot heat we don't need. QFU.
QFU is a Q code for runway 27 right. I see it right in my face. Yep. And the runway bearing is 273.
273. Yeah, I've learned 2 more QFU from my stepfather-in-law. Well, stepfather.
Oh, cool.
I mean. He,
excuse me just for a second.
Ground 7 Whiskey Whiskey.
November 997 Whiskey Whiskey, Tamiami ground.
I just wonder if you know the velocity rating of the windsocks here.
We're showing like we're showing wind calm at this time.
Okay.
That's not what I wanted to know. Okay.
Yeah, you want to know.
It's a 15 knot windsock, so if it's halfway out, it's 7 knots. Yeah. But they sell them in different velocities.
Right. Yeah, he was telling me there's QNH and QFE. So here we're QNH, right?
We're always QNH.
Right.
Anywhere in the world, pretty much everybody operates on, which some people say is Queen's normal height.
Miami Tower.
All right, so we're good to go. Get clearance. Westbound still.
Yes, sir.
45 Tango Victor, Miami Tower. Maintain out above 2,000 VFR for now, and fly present heading to join the right downwind 27 right.
Okay, out or above 2,000, present heading to join the right downwind for 27 right.
The Miami Tower, Skyhawk 997 Whiskey Whiskey is at runway 27 right, ready to depart to the west.
Cessna 997 Whiskey Whiskey, Miami Tower, hold short of runway 27 right.
Holding short, 27 right, 7 Whiskey Whiskey.
Excellent, excellent. I always want to say 27 right, because there's 6 runways at this airport.
Yeah.
A lot of guys just say, you're just holding short. Well, holding short of what?
Right.
Good call.
So, Cessna 7 Whiskey Whiskey, fly straight out for now, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff, same intentions.
That was us?
Yeah. Clear.
Clear for takeoff, 27 right, 7 Whiskey Whiskey.
And same intentions?
Our intentions are to proceed westbound.
Right.
I guess you forgot.
Tango Charlie, ground point 7, good day.
I guess that's what he meant. That was kind of an odd. Now you get the mixture, and look at final. Check final, and you're all set. Cleared for takeoff. This way you're not turning knobs, and your attention is for the runway.
Alright, final looks clear. I don't see anyone on base either. We're good to go. Runway looks clear, no one's sitting on it. So let's go flying.
55 today.
Alright, I'll bring it back at 50.
You don't have to yank it back, just start bringing it right on back.
Right.
Because you gotta, right now you're forward, you gotta go through the neutral and then up.
Alright, feet to the floor.
Good.
Smoothly accelerate.
Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed is alive. Keep one hand on the throttle. There you go, good.
On 50.
There you
55.
are, 55. See, you didn't lift off to 6, and you felt that.
Yeah, interesting.
I'll show you a perfect takeoff someday.
Okay, and we want to climb at 74, which is about here.
The Victor, you can start your descent to parent altitude, runway 27 right, clear land. Short approach is approved if you need it.
And high pitch attitude, high power setting, slow speed, right rudder. Always right rudder on climb out.
Right.
You have your traffic over there at your 10 o'clock.
I have him in sight. So, do I want to stay at this altitude or? No, we're fine.
Doing his thing, you're doing yours. Just noting that traffic. All I was showing was the traffic. Can I have the checklist a second? Actually, climb out. I don't mind 74 at all. Best angle, there's all the back of the yellow pages. Here's all your speeds.
Right.
Best angle is 60. Best rate is 79.
Oh, I guess 74 is the other plane I'm flying then.
Correct. That's probably best angle in
November model.
Yeah.
Alright, 79 then. And there goes my ears.
Yeah, me too.
Really? You would think after a while you got used to it.
They're reamed out. I don't know. Probably from using Q-tips so many years. It's probably filled with all kinds of nonsense. 1,000 feet. We can keep climbing.
Oh, you want to climb too?
Straight out. Yeah, we'll go up and we'll do the high work. Come back. We'll just do some turns and we'll do some air work. Flies nice with us with half tanks.
I haven't had that beautiful weather in a while. This is nice.
Oh, it's incredible. It's like a hot summer day up in Montreal, man. Green, lush, cumulus clouds, a little hazy, or the Midwest.
You would probably call that what, a cumulus nimbo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we definitely had that over the ocean yesterday. We had a nice line of thunderstorm. I was getting a little worried.
Oh yeah, that sucks when you get bad weather in the...
Especially when you're in a metal boat. Yeah.
And you don't have any Dodger or anything, and you're driving back to the dock at 35 miles an hour in the wind, and it's hitting you in the face.
Yep.
Now what you can do is, once you're climbing, look at your fuel flow. Watch this.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You can just bring it back.
Until you're in the top of the green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. I was doing it at 500 on the climb out.
Alright.
Good reminder.
Just want to make sure I get all that
left, Alpha 1, ground point 7, good day.
Left and Alpha 1 and ground point 7.
This thing's a little
45 Tango Victor, thanks for your help.
oily.
Swimming a little bit.
Oh, is that sweat?
I don't know.
Doesn't feel like sweat.
What do you want, 3,000, 3,500?
Well right here, you see where the airspace is? We can go to 5,000, but if you go any farther north, you better stop at 2,500.
Okay.
Because look where we are. That's 3,000 there. We don't want to get anywhere clear near the arrivals into Miami International.
Interesting, I don't fly this way too often. We usually dip northwest right away.
Yeah, today we're going to go out towards Shark Valley.
I was going to say, start valley should be somewhere right here.
One other thing I want you to start doing is getting used to looking at your watch when you take off.
Okay, well,
this
that's
thing
not
right
a watch
now,
though, but yeah.
Right, then we'll set this or start the time. That time's not going to be correct because I need to change the internal battery.
Right.
Why? Because you're going to start going on cross countries. And if you don't get your time off, so every time you take off, I want you to say mixture and time. That's why it's on the checklist. So I need to start you doing that immediately because we only have a few flights for you to start. See that? Clock. Or say clock.
Right.
Start. Some kind of a clock. We have clocks here when you read the supplement section. Look at this. There's all kinds of stuff going on here.
Yeah, definitely
and
get
set
read
it, you
the,
just hold that for 3 seconds and release. Then you can just press start. That'll give you your lap
so when
time.
you're doing your legs, you could use that to...
Absolutely. There's one here. There's all kinds of clocks.
That's a lot convenient.
But it is. It's cool. If you want to get your... Look, if I go to... if I put in 13.9, which is the Dolphin VOR, in the active, watch. I want to go to it. The 67-degree radial. From it, 247. I can actually check my VORs by doing that. Mode 248. So I've just checked the VORs. Bam, air-to-air check, done. So I've checked my, before I even left, I checked the validity of my position, and I knew because it showed me on the taxiway. What if I turned that on and it showed me in the Everglades? Uh-oh, there's something wrong with the GPS. This shows me that my VORs are pretty darn close, look, within 1 degree.
Right, wow.
So now I know all my electronic guidance is active.
46953 Tamiami Tower. If
I go all the way here, so this is page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Page 6 will give me the range or the satellite and the estimated position accuracy is within 11 feet.
Yeah.
And you can look up what EP, DOP, and HUL is. Okay?
Yeah. Now, does this one have one where I can get the ground speed?
Ground speed, absolutely. You got to be going somewhere.
Okay.
Let's say we're going direct Tamiami. A, B, M, D. And you can, there's a activate. There's your ground speed. But look here, here's your ground speed here.
I was looking at that, but I didn't know about this one.
Yeah, and I don't want you to change these fields, but there's your ground speed. If you had something going direct, it'd tell you your distance and the next. And this gives you the local, because we have weather, it gives you the local METAR. So wherever you're at in the general vicinity, if you can pick up weather, it'll give you the local area winds at the closest reporting station.
Well, that explains. Last week, Joe showed me how to figure if I have a tailwind or not. He said, take the ground speed, look at your airspeed, and you know how much.
Yeah, there's one way. Here's another way, and another way is you can look at if there's bodies of water. And if you have a body of water and it's calm on the south side, that means the wind must be traveling from the south.
Yeah, we looked at that too. You said smokestack.
Exactly. Yep. And remember, part of your briefing, okay, we're going to go on this course, 2,500 feet, whatever altitude you tell me, that son of a gun is popped out again. That cowling screw. I got Okay, so whatever altitude you choose, go to that altitude. If you tell me you're going to go to 2,500 feet, go to 2,500 feet. And it doesn't have to be 2,500. I like flying at like 1,700, 900, 26, 27. Why? Because
everyone else is
we're training exactly. And I can't tell you how many times it's been like, oh crap, you know, an airplane's at our same altitude. So I might have a lick of a chance if I'm at a slightly odd altitude. Because I'm going to switch to guard here a second. I forgot what I was going to say.
the plane cross.
Oh, you don't have to go to cardinal altitudes till you're above 3,000 feet AGL, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say this thing says that.
Yeah.
Plus 500 for VFR.
Good. But I'll tell you why I want you to do the time. Because, look, if I go out to Shark Valley before I make my turn, I'm well clear of the Class Bravo. Do me a favor, stay well clear, because even though you could be right on the edge and 1 foot below this altitude, trust me, you're impinging on the arrivals. And if you're in an airliner, you get what's called a traffic resolution. You have to make the airplane go around. Or worse yet, run into the airplane if you're off a little. Maybe you forgot to set your altimeter or something.
Right.
You don't want to do that. If you want to know pressure altitude, it's right there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
So 2,600.
That's all in your supplement section.
Yeah, I think
so
I'm
you got
gonna
plenty
bring
of
out
homework.
And just when I thought I was done.
No, you're doing good. Look right here. This is Shark Valley.
Yep.
This is a great place to do your S-turns and all that kind of stuff. But we are, if I time this 9 out of 10 times, it's 12 minutes to get from the runway to here. Remember that. Because if you run your cross country, you go out to Shark Valley and then go northbound, you don't have to worry about incoming aircraft.
Okay.
You're well clear. With the advent of GPS, now we can see when we're 1 foot left or right of that line. Dude, you never did that before. You stay well clear, and I'll tell you, there are many, many times, I can show you a video where an aircraft is outside of the Class Bravo, but still causing airliners to go around.
Okay.
So you don't want to be anywhere near that airspace for your own good. Plus, if you enter that airspace, you get a free trip to the Friendly Aviation Administration.
Please call this number.
And it's going to cost you money, because if we have to go with you, it's going to cost you money. And also, it's going to take a lot of time and they're going to be asking you a lot of questions, and if you don't answer them to their satisfaction, you're going to get a check ride from an FAA examiner. And that you don't want.
No.
Okay? All right, so if we checked our time, we'd be 12 minutes. We're clear here. Let's go ahead and...
was that button you pushed to see the time? This one?
That one. But it didn't...
Yeah, we didn't set it.
Yeah,
so.
we didn't set it. That's how long it takes from engine start. We're 35 minutes just to get here.
Alright.
Okay,
So
well, what altitude are you going to choose here? What I'd like you to do is show me a steep turn to the right. Okay. I find it's easier to do a turn when I'm on the top of the turn, so I like doing left turns when I'm in the right seat. But you can do it any way you like. For some reason, I see a lot of people, they like starting with the left turn.
Yeah,
so what
doesn't matter to me.
What is the procedure? This is the important part. Remember, I'm getting you set up for check ride. What is the first thing you do before you do any maneuver?
Well, first you do I'll check the gumps, then I'll do a clearing turn.
Okay.
And then if I'm clear, I'll start the maneuver.
Okay, good. So show me your gumps.
So gas is on both. I'll check this just to make sure. Undercarriage doesn't apply to us. Mixture is going to be all the way in.
No, we don't really need it. We're just doing a steep turn. We're at 3,000 feet. We've leaned it for the most efficient operation.
We're climbing, so we don't really need the mixture full ridge, right?
Okay.
And then prop is not a factor for us. We don't have variable prop. Switches and seat. So my seat is in. By the way, I'll turn the landing lights off, but you still want to keep it.
You can have them off if you like.
Okay. Landing light off. Strobe I'll keep. So gumps is set.
One more thing. Magnetos.
I've never done
magnetos on both.
Oh,
Don't check them. Just make sure it's on both.
Okay.
I had someone fly an entire flight on one magneto. And they're like, no, this thing is running bad. And I'm like, they destroyed a whole set of spark plugs.
Hey, that's not good.
Right. And it wasn't running good.
Alright, so our gumps is set. I'll look around. I don't see anyone on the left.
I need you to do a clearing turn. So show me a clearing turn. So it's security. I call it security. Security, and then, or gumps. You can use gumps if you want. And then do a clearing turn. And what he's looking for is that before you turn right, you have lifted the right wing. on a high wing airplane.
How high should I raise it? I raised it a little bit, but I don't know.
I want to see you like a pigeon looking around.
No, I mean if I lift the wing, how high should I lift it?
I don't know, high enough that you don't get hit by an airplane. How about that?
All right. Well, I'm gonna lift pretty high then.
Okay, that worked for me. That's a good. And what I'm trying to do is establish having.
Looks clear. And then
Start your turn. So you want to lift. Start your clearing turn.
Okay, 2900. A little bit of throttle. Turn in. As I reach 35, I'll start adding. A little too high. Let's go back. Coming back on the west. There's my cloud. And roll out. Level up. Oh, I gained a lot of altitude.
Okay, good. I'm glad you did that. So if I can critique that, let's go back, get back to, let's start at 3,000 feet. So the first thing is do your gums or security check. Number two is before every maneuver, you need to do a clearing turn. Clearing turn is 90 degrees right, through, 90 degrees left. And you want to just do this, you don't make a big deal about it, just get it done. Turn back, and you got to stay at your altitude while you're doing that.
Oh, you're saying to do a turn to the right 90, turn to the left again 90?
That's a clearing turn, because you can have someone behind you, you got to do a clearing turn.
Okay, I guess we haven't done that.
So you want to do that. I'll be honest with you, for steep turns, I kind of, don't go crazy about it, but if you're doing stalls, for sure, because why? You're slowing down. You could get hit from behind. And that's what the examiner is going to be looking for. So you're allowed how many feet?
100.
We started at 29. We ended at, let's try it again.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
So just show it to me again.
So clear turn
Gums is complete. And you got to get used to doing this. Gums is complete. Lift your wing. Clearing turn. So give me a clearing turn. Now, while you're turning, you have to remain cognizant of your altitude. You're allowed 100 feet. If you hear this sound, means you're getting close to the altitude.
Okay, so now that's 90 degrees. I don't see anyone.
Well, take a look at your nose. Your nose just dropped. So and this takes 15 seconds to get to that. Now go right back to the left. And I would use more than 1900 RPM. Just set your RPM. Remember that guy used to sell vacuums or something on TV? Set it and forget it. He died of cocaine.
I reduced it to lose altitude.
That's all right. Nah, just use your pitch.
I forgot.
Use your pitch and your trim.
And we're back on the west. Yeah, there's my cloud.
Hey, now go right into your right turn. Same thing. Good. I'm glad you're using outside reference. This is about flying outside.
Right.
So you're initially pulling back on the nose, so you roll into your bank slowly. As you get through, right about here is where you need back pressure. That's why you just said, oh, I'm going to a bank, so I added back pressure. You've already gained 200 feet. So get back to 3,000. Don't adjust if you maintain a constant bank, your back pressure will remain constant as well. And the whole object is to fly with as much precision as you can. Okay, may I demonstrate one? Okay, so
Yep.
we ended up a little high, right?
Yeah.
So here's how we're gonna.
I guess I pulled back too early.
You got it trimmed up also. Well, you really in a shallow bank, you really don't need much back pressure. So I'm gonna get us back to 3,000 here, as long as we don't overspeed. Okay, and I'm gonna do, while I'm getting set up, I'm gonna do my clearing turn to the left. Okay. Look at my head. This is, even if you're not consciously looking, get in the habit of looking around.
Right.
We'll do it at 3,100 feet. I don't want to go all the way down. Okay, looking to the left, clear to the left. Inside, outside. Look outside, find that pitch attitude, and then see what's going on here. If you see a descent, you're already 15 seconds behind, so bring that pitch up. It's probably that row of rivets right on the horizon, if I'm guessing correctly for you. Okay, looks
right, yeah.
good. To the left, notice how I bring the nose as I go through the level flight. I'll use that same cloud you were using right there, and that's good. You want to pick an outside obstacle.
Right.
Okay, don't use your heading bug. Use that as a backup. Okay?
Right.
Now I'm going to do one to the right. Here we go. Or I'll do to the left. You did them to
Sure.
the right. Okay, roll into the bank. Into the bank. Oops, I'm climbing a little bit. Inside, outside. Lower the nose. 30 degrees. Here's where I need the back pressure now. Look at that. I'm getting close. There's 45 degrees of bank. I just let it dip to get back on our altitude. Now I'm just going to maintain that. Looking outside, inside. The vertical speed is 0. So I'm just going to let it down just a hair to get back down to 3,100, then bring it back. And it's hard to get it back once you start descending. But I'm going to lead my roll-off by 1/2 of my angle of bank according to the 8083 Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge and Flying Aircraft Handbook. As I go through the center, I keep my nose down because I pull back, and there we are, back on our heading of our cloud
At 3,100. Good.
Okay. Steep turn, or the clearing turns are complete. You go ahead and give it a whirl. Just give me one to the right. 45 degrees of bank. Don't bring your nose. I have it. You're perfect. Okay, roll into your bank. Don't start pulling back yet. You're already high. You're pulling back.
Okay.
Now we're 3,130. Now keep your bank. Look at the angle of the strut. You can use that as a guide. It's about looking outside. Now here's where you need your back pressure. Inside, outside. A little more back pressure. Right about there. Once you have it, you're set. Okay? A little more back pressure. We're going to start descending. You can feel it in the seat of your pants. Excellent. There's 45 degrees. That's what we're looking for. Now we're going to have to find our cloud out there. There it is. About half our angle of bank. So right about now, look, keep the nose coming through. Right on the horizon. Perfecto. We're a little bit low though. So you just got to, you feel that.
I guess I pushed too much.
Yeah, just be cognizant of that, in and out of the turn. And if you keep the bank angle constant, then everything else will remain. Okay, let's try a power off stall. And if you don't mind, if we could turn back to the east, please.
Sure.
1701 on start.
Keep blue on the right.
Okay, keep an eye on your altitude as you turn. Don't lose or gain altitude when you start it. Right now, I see you pulling up on the nose. There you go. Nice, easy turn. Now your nose is dropping through the horizon. Yep, and there's the indication. So just make a correction. Pull it back. Manhandle this thing. It's a utility category airplane.
And there's...
Okay, that's good. Okay, sorry we're in the sun here. I don't want to get too far away from the airport here. Okay, show me a power off stall.
Alright, we did our clear, gumps, undercarriage, mixture all the way in. Prop, switch, seat belts. We're good.
Don't forget about magnetos. That's your switch.
Oh yeah, and the magneto.
When you move these, it's best to move a visor like this, not like this. Otherwise, you're constantly
like this?
cleaning it.
Yeah, okay.
Use 2 hands to move it.
Okay.
Okay, 3,100 feet. Okay, commence the stall.
Alright.
Power off, and I want it to a full stall. Maintaining your altitude. while you're slowing. So don't let the nose drop. The nose just dropped about 2 degrees. That's why we lost 60 feet right away. Bring it right on back, all the way back.
The power back?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going at 16 and slowing down.
No, this is a power off stall. Maintain your altitude. Power off, no flaps.
No flaps, okay.
I just want a no flap power off stall. You got to maintain your altitude while you're configuring the aircraft.
So well,
keep pulling back, keep pulling, because as you slow, the elevator becomes less effective.
Right, exactly.
I want to, there it is. Can't put partial power, you need full power. We're simulating this occurring close to the ground.
Right.
If you come in with partial power, you might go right through the trees. Okay, let me show you. We'll start at 2800. Clearing turns are complete. Looking around, power back. Maintain your altitude, okay? And try to keep your vertical speed ahead if you can. It's better if you're climbing because you'll probably lose it. Then just keep pulling back. As you slow, the airplane is going to be, the elevator becomes less effective, okay? There's the imminent stall, 7 knots prior, so that's working properly. All the way back, and there's our stall. You feel it? Okay, lower the elevator, power full, 60 knots, right into a climb at 60 knots. That's our pitch attitude. All about pitch attitude. Everything, all these things delay. They're not instantaneous, not in AHRs. Okay, back to our original altitude. Let's say it was 2,900 feet. There's 2,900. Power back. Now you're gonna have to lean again. I actually don't. I don't lean above 3,000. I don't lean it because you're at 3,000 feet. It says in the manual 3,000. You don't have to.
Okay.
You lean for operation. You're actually getting less performance by going rich. You look at the manual. Okay. You
so I shouldn't put mixture
29. I wouldn't.
Okay.
You do it. Just the pre-takeoff, pre-maneuver checklist complete. Show me a stall straight ahead.
All right. So idle. Keep on the horizon.
And your altitude, 2,900 feet. 2,900 feet. Keep pulling back.
Keep pulling back. Keep pulling back.
Pulling back.
Keep pulling back.
Full stall.
Keeping altitude.
Good.
Getting there. And imminent.
There it is.
Stall. Full power. Goes up.
Well, you got to break the
60
stall
degrees.
now, 60 knots. And it's a pitch attitude. Don't stare at the airspeed indicator because your nose is too high right now. See? This is the pitch attitude you want. Look off your left
So how do you know by looking what?
By practice. You look out your left window. That'll give you the angle. You can't really tell the angle too much.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and head back to the airport without using the GPS.
Okay.
Show me where the airport.
Okay, I got date. This must be Tamiami.
You can descend down to 2,000 because we're approaching the class problem.
And I know my airport's somewhere that way. Tami is here, so
good. Okay.
Airport's going to be Sol, angle.
Let's get down to 2,000 feet so we're well clear of the class problem.
All right. I'll reduce to 2,100 also.
And we would use the descent checklist. Approach briefing. Okay, we've got the ATIS. They're probably going to land on
runway. Notice Chairman needs caution, bird and wildlife activity on and in the vicinity of the airport. Runway 27 right, PAPI out of service. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor.
Okay, it's still Victor, so we're good. Okay, we're all set. So they're going to use 27 right. That's the purpose of approach briefing. 27 right.
Right.
Runway exit plan. It's going to be a left turnoff. If we look at the airport diagram, runway 27. So we're going to make right traffic.
Right.
We'll come in from the northwest or the west for right traffic 27 right, and we'll plan on exiting at Alpha 1. Maybe maybe, just maybe, at Alpha 2.
Yeah.
When you're landing on 9 left, never get off at Alpha 1.
Yeah,
okay?
no.
All you're going to do is get a flat tire. And you also have ground speed here. When you're I don't want you turning off at more than 25 knots for sure. I'd like to see 20 knots or less.
Okay.
Imagine making that sharp turn in a car at 20 knots. Not real controllable. We have a lot of information available to us, okay? That's the approach briefing. The runway exit plan is where we're going to turn off. And then we're going to taxi on Alpha all the way into spot 2. Now, you have a mental picture of your entire landing. Fuel selector, both. Mixture, we'll leave it alone. Enriching, we don't need to enrich it yet.
Right.
Avionics, if we're going to shoot an approach or something, because this is set for instrument, we're going to. But I just want you to look outside. And you said it's somewhere over there, because that's really how it works. It's usually.
My legs are there, so the airport should be right about there.
Okay, so let's head that way a little bit. We do have a lot of extra information, but normally flying is about sheer terror by, oh, I'm right on course. You know, you're like, oh my God, I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Or you're flying along and all of a sudden you see the airport. It's many times about familiarity.
Yep.
Lights, okay? Landing light on. You already have your strobe lights on. Seat belts and harnesses are set. Mixture control. Final items to go. Descent. I'll be in charge of the mixture control. Descent checklist complete. Now all we got to do is our after landing. Okay? So we're done.
All right, good. So, which page again gives me how far out I am? Well, I have it here, 19.6.
Yeah, but I don't want to use this today. What I want to use,
okay.
I want you to look
visually,
out,
how do I recognize?
If you get out here and something happens, I want you to look, there's an airplane.
Where do you see
1 o'clock southbound. South, he's actually maneuvering. Now he's headed towards us. See him there? 1 o'clock position.
Oh, 1 o'clock.
Barely see him now. He's turning, he's doing maneuvers. So we're going to go, you've continued to descend, so we'll go down to 1,500 feet or 1,000 feet if we need to get away from this guy. Okay, so there's the city.
Yeah,
so
city
we're getting
Biscayne.
closer. I told you that round ball was 4 miles.
It should be about there, because the two lakes are there for that refinery or whatever, the quarry. So I would think I'm pretty much lined up with that ball.
I think you're right. We're going to be a little bit north of the ball because we're going to do right downwind for 27 right. If that ball is 8 miles,
okay,
if
then
you
I should
double
be
it, that
halfway
4
between.
miles, excuse me, then I usually call in about 8 miles.
Okay.
And you can find on the chart ground objects to use. Actually, you can start seeing the field now, but if you look to the right, you see that big tower? That's the WSVN TV tower.
Yeah, okay. Oh, really?
Okay? Yeah. And then there's your lake you're talking about, so we're a little bit north of there and south of there. So I would say you could turn to the left about just a little bit, and you're going to see the airport appearing.
Miami Center,
But
this is JetBlue 1713.
before,
How do you hear?
if you are indeed over Shark Valley and you proceed a track directly east, you'll run right into the runway.
Wrong frequencies, and now we don't have a correct frequency. We're talking to one Miami Center guy. He's trying to give us a correct one. We're about 25 north of LaBelle. You have a good frequency for us?
Is that? No. Is it? That's not Shark Valley. Shark Valley is behind us.
Behind us, correct.
Sorry, 1713.
That's my 90-degree canal. That's what it is.
2652, thank you.
I still don't see the ball though. Okay, I guess I should level off, huh? I'm already at 1200.
That's good. Yep. So just bring your power in. Level off, bring your power in. Because you're trimming for speed. And that's what we teach on an instrument training. You bring your power back when you want to descend to 1500, and it lowers the nose, and you start a nice, easy descent.
So
really
would this be
for angle
about
of attack.
10 miles, would you guess?
Well, can we see the ball yet?
I'm still looking for that.
The ball is, you can't see it in the morning, but it's right, you can just barely see it.
I think
Let's see.
I see a white dot there.
Let's see, this is
Yeah, that's the ball.
13 miles. So your canal is 13. I just checked it right here, 13 miles, okay? Just to prove to you.
There it is.
Yeah.
I see a white dot on the...
And the whole object is, before you call in, try to get your descent checklist done, because at this point, you got to mold into the traffic, you got to talk on the radio, a lot of work to do. You want to have your checklist, your descent checklist or approach checklist completed. Now it's starting to come out. You see the airport yet?
Yep.
Perfect.
So you said halfway between Shark Valley and the ball is 8 miles?
Well, no. No, I said, there. Can you see the ball now?
Yep, I see it.
That's 4 miles. So
right.
You can take that distance and double it. So right around there is going to be 8 miles. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Just
okay.
you have a runway that you know is 5,000 feet long. So if
So right about that dark patch with the white scent, that doesn't help.
yeah, well that's what I do. I want you to get used to navigating like Orville and Wilbur, you know? Because this stuff, you have plenty of time to learn all this stuff. That's the easy thing. You get out here and maybe you have an electrical failure or something, you know?
506 Whiskey, Tamiami Tower.
06 Victor.
Tell me when you think we're at 8 miles.
At 2,000 feet, information Victor, request full stop.
I would say over that clump of grass.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was looking at
I
that
agree.
here.
So let's see what this says.
Southeast.
That's a 10.8. You can subtract about 1 from that. So we're at about 10 right now. So I think you're right. That's 8 miles. I concur.
Ident, set up for right base 27 right, and expect to switch over to 7.
Now, 8 isn't a change. Should we check, make sure, or?
06 Victor, change plan, fly southbound and...
3.0, all aircraft read back all hold short instructions and assigned altitudes. Touchdown aircraft simultaneous approach is being conducted to parallel runways. Notice airmen use caution burden wireless activity on and in the vicinity of the airport. Runway 27 right, PAP is out of service. Touchdown aircraft hazards on information 4 south 4 and coastal waters available. Highway flat watch flight service frequencies. Advise initial contact give information Whiskey.
Whiskey.
It's good 3, echo arrival approved, Tamiami
Good enough.
2999.
2999, there's your altimeter.
traffic on a 1 mile final,
Okay,
number 2, runway 27.
so we're 8 miles west-northwest with Whiskey. Otherwise, you're going to overtask yourself. You can feel the wind.
We're doing what? Full stop?
Full stop.
WNP Tower, Skyhawk 997 Whiskey is northwest 8 miles, inbound for full stop.
November 997 Whiskey, Tamiami Tower, I-10, make right traffic, runway 27 right.
Identity?
Where is that? 7 Whiskey, ident.
And we have Whiskey, 7 Whiskey. That way he doesn't have to read you the altimeter and all that nonsense.
And I forgot the whiskey, huh?
Whiskey. That's really hard if you're primarily a Spanish speaker, let me tell you. And one guy said, wiki. 7 wiki.
He's the airborne DJ.
And this is the perfect way to enter a traffic pattern on a 45. You get a good view. Whenever you go to a non-controlled field, or an uncontrolled field, I always want you to enter on a 45. You're coming from that direction, I want you to overfly the airport, come out, and enter on the 45.
Okay. I got my Kendall drive here, so 104 should be right about there.
7 Whiskey, traffic, 2 to 2.5, 3 miles. Appears to be northbound, Cessna 1,800, use caution.
And what's his position from us for 7 Whiskey?
Probably 2.5 there at 1,800. He's already far climbing with Miami. He's ready.
Straight ahead.
Letting you know he's there.
No, that's 12 o'clock. 2.5 is over here.
I don't see him.
You mean 2.5 on the clock, correct?
Yes, sir. They are 2 o'clock now, maybe 2.5 there.
Oh, we have in sight 7 Whiskey Whiskey.
Thank you, sir.
He said 2.5. That could be miles or clock position.
Oh, that one up there.
Okay, now we're getting ready to enter, so we get down to our traffic pattern altitude.
Continue upwind 88 140.
There's your ball.
Yep.
Watch.
4 miles.
See, it says 5. Subtract a mile from that. You just have to trust me, that's 4 miles.
Right.
Number 3, clear Tango, runway 27 right, number 997 for Bravo Charlie.
$700.
See these black stripes on the strut? If you're at 1,000 feet and the proper distance from the runway's going to be right underneath those.
Yep.
Doesn't matter whether you're landing at Tamiami or Denver.
KTF 140 is turn crosswind now. Join the downwind. I'll call the base.
Turn to crosswind and join downwind 88 140.
When I'm flying, I also look, that's where you're going to land if you need to. Notice the furrows are north-south. He's going to call our base. I look at the furrows to see, you want to land with the furrows, meaning the cuts in the soil, if you can, if you have a choice. If you land against them, they're actually really high.
All right.
R7, correction 974, Bravo Charlie, turn base now.
1,000 feet. Don't be happy with 900 feet, 800 feet, 1,100 feet, 12, because if you do, that's why he's calling our base, because of that guy.
Oh, he called in saying he was going to call base?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that call.
Now make sure you have this trimmed, so take your hands off once. Let's see if it's going to hold the altitude. Yeah, you have it. The nose is dropping.
I put a little bit of nose down earlier.
Yeah. Let the airplane do the work for you.
Yep, that's why I was streaming.
Good.
Looks pretty good.
When do we think we can turn base? If it's a like airplane, another Cessna 172, he's going to have the same approach speed, so when he crosses our path in the opposite direction.
Okay.
A good gauge for that. But normally, I would be reducing the power right now, because we're opposite our touchdown point.
But because he's calling, do I keep going or?
No, he's going to call it.
Okay.
But he might forget. So my guess is it's going to be
7 Tango Charlie, Tamiami Tower.
just inside of the turnpike there,
Charlie,
which that is the turnpike.
Continue on your present heading, square the base to final your number
lost track of
2 following Cessna on a 3/4 mile final.
Oh, there he is.
27 right, clear to land.
Yeah, you could start slowing now.
Present heading, we'll square
You can start slowing. 1,500 RPM. Below 110, flaps 10. And so Whiskey Whiskey has that traffic.
Just Whiskey Whiskey, I'll call your base.
I say 1,000 or?
Actually, technically, at this point, you're beginning your descent.
You can proceed inbound for 9 left now. Inbound, 7 Charlie. Thanks. November 997 Whiskey Whiskey, the traffic you're following is at your 2 o'clock and 2 miles, turning base from the south, sky lane 2,800, descending high.
We don't have them in sight, so Whiskey Whiskey. Okay, so now you're going to just maintain.
Negative.
Okay, so just maintain your altitude here then.
Still Whiskey Whiskey number 2 to follow skyline, runway 27 right, clear to land.
Oh.
Clear to land, runway 27 right, 7 Whiskey Whiskey.
KTF 140, I'll
So that means I can turn now?
Lift your wing, I can't
Call
see
your base,
it.
88 140.
Yeah, I got him, you can turn your base. But normally, opposite touchdown point, I was hoping I'd be able to demonstrate that to you.
Right.
ADF 179er, extend down 1, I'll call
Here's
space.
what I want you to think about on landing. Hold the nose wheel off.
Yep.
Do not land flat.
Now we're what, probably
You can just
2 miles?
continue it. Yeah, I would say 2 miles.
Okay.
And you're starting a little bit premature on your turn. Yeah, I want you to roll out on final out here. That way you get a judgment of the wind. And the wind is out of the south now. You can see by those lakes.
Yeah, that explained why I felt like I had to crab to the right.
Exactly. And there's a reason for everything.
Yep. Keep turning.
7 Tango Charlie left Alpha 1 ground point.
And I'd like you to be completely configured by 300 feet.
ADF 140.
So I'll put a second notch.
Okay, and the call is speed checks or below 85 because you need to make sure you're within the flap range.
Bravo Charlie 1.
These are all procedures that will lend you well in the future.
Right.
Wind 210 at 4.
Oh, we have a little bit of a crosswind. Probably going to dissipate on the ground though. What kind of airspeed do you normally fly? And do you normally fly full flaps or 20?
We fly 20.
Okay, I
with
want
Joe.
you to use full flaps today.
Okay, so I'll put the third one.
Below 85,
Yep,
speed
below.
checks, flaps full.
I'll reduce we're about 70, so we're good. We're a little
Now,
high though.
Yeah, just take your hands off for a second. Okay, you're all set. Now look, just look outside once. Look at my fingers.
Okay.
We're lined up, we're tracking down the runway on the center line. We're at 70 knots. The runway is not moving up or down. The point, you've got it all trimmed up. So just let it do its thing. Just keep coming down at 70 knots. You got everything set. You got your crab set, you have control. You don't have to fight it. Just no, don't pull back.
Nope.
Everything's set. You're perfect. You're perfect. Just leave it alone. Get your hand on the throttle though. Now take just a little bit off. A little bit fast, okay? Now you're gonna have to straighten it out somewhere, right?
Yep.
So which rudder are you gonna push on?
Right.
Perfect. Don't pull back yet. Easy. Straighten the nose. More rudder, right rudder.
Or right.
Keep it straight. Keep it straight. Now hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Pull back. Pull back. Pull back. Pull back. Keep the aileron in. Pull back.
We're going back up.
Okay, so pull back now as you start descending. Hold it. Hold it. Pull back. Pull back. Pull back. Aileron has to be into the wind, otherwise we'll go.
Right.
Now hold it.
Whiskey left Alpha 1 ground point 7.
Can we make this?
Alpha 1 ground point 7, Whiskey. Of course, we're 35 knots now. Brake straight ahead. Now start easing your way around. That's a landing. You cannot level the wings with the crosswind because you'll start going sideways in the last 4 feet.
Right.
And the landing gear's not made for it.
Ident, make right traffic, runway 27 right.
Perfect. Nice job.
Thanks. That was a lot of you. I haven't done much crosswinds, but yeah.
Well,
That was
now's the time.
Flaps up.
What you have to remember is there's no way
27 right, clear touch and go.
you can just leave the mixture where it's at.
Right. And stand by.
The F179, it sounded like you said 27 left, the runway 27
And
right,
trim.
runway
So
27 right,
if
clear
you
touch
look at
and
the
go.
checklist, it starts here, goes across lights, transponder, flaps identified, trim is set, fuel selector. Actually, fuel selector.
Lights, make sure transponder flaps, elevator
Wind
trim
variable
complete.
Yep, you see it goes ding, ding. L.
Alright, good.
Looking good.
1.7. Bump 2.
And where are we?
Alpha 1. Miami ground, Skyhawk 90907, Whiskey, is that Alpha 1 going to spot 2?
Cessna 997 Whiskey Whiskey Tamiami ground, hold short Alpha taxiway.
Holding short on taxiway. 7 Whiskey Whiskey.
Okay. And
There's
I
a plane
point,
on the left.
and that's what I do. I just point to that. Show me that you see the plane.
It was behind
And
the strut at
this
first.
doesn't have to be at 1200 RPM. It can be back here.
Right.
You've done your leaning after landing,
It's not going to choke, so.
and I just left it because we had it set.
Right.
Ground square 48.
Parks 48, Tamiami ground.
48 plus 1 at Charlie 1 here.
I'm glad to see that guy has a good taxi. Everyone used to taxi like Southwest Airlines.
Which means what?
They taxi really, really fast. It's a big joke in the airline industry.
Yeah, I kind of got chewed up with Kevin. He said you should be light jog. You don't want to piss off the examiner before you're even in the air.
7 Whiskey Whiskey, taxi to spot 2 via Alpha.
Taxi to spot 2 via Alpha, 7 Whiskey Whiskey.
And you control your speed. Yeah, it should just... That's how fast I'd like to see you taxi. Kevin, that's the guy. That's plenty of power. That's all the breakaway thrust you need. Good.
Clear right, clear center.
Good
left.
procedures. It's just making you a little more concise and then procedurally. So before any maneuver, I need to see you do a clearing turn.
Okay.
40.
And
Lift the
be a
wings
little
and then
more
290 degrees.
Exactly.
To turn off the lights on
Okay.
Charlie and Delta. On.
Yeah, so far we've been doing 180 and then going and doing our maneuver in the other side. But yeah, 290
Yeah, I
degrees.
kind of get away with doing that too, but I need to, it's, for me, it's, you know, it's hard to develop a habit pattern, so I need to have to do that every time. Because guaranteed, if I don't, you're going to forget to do it on a check ride, and then you're going to get to take the check ride again. This is plenty fast enough. No faster than
Yeah,
this.
my idle right now.
Yep, good. That's what. And nice, you're right on the center line. You're actually slightly right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back.
That's okay. That's what you're paying me for.
Taxi spot 13 via Echo.
Is that what it is?
Yep. Yeah, because you're learning to fly by yourself, man.
Don't tell my, well, I'm not married, but I was going to say don't tell my wife. She'll want a salary.
Oh, never let your wife get a pilot license. That's the one time she can't tell you how to drive.
Cessna 46953, continue to spot 17.
Watch this guy. Look at this. That was a pretty nice approach. He could have held it off a little longer, but he had the pitch attitude set for landing. Oh, that was a nice landing.
Cessna 46953, taxi to spot 17 via Charlie and
Yeah, I'm going to look forward to looking at the video and see.
And they're looking to see whether you are indeed riding the brakes. So they don't want to see that.
Via Charlie and Echo.
Now, when we're coming in that crosswind, is it better to do a side slip than doing crabbing? Does the examiner care?
He doesn't care. You can do it either way. But you're going to end up slipping at the end because you got to land. And you can't level the wing because now the wind's going to push you. So you got to have the aileron in. Actually, technically, the aileron comes in as the speed slows. But it wasn't a strong crosswind. And try to, when you need to decelerate straight ahead. The way you do it is you slow down to a slow crawl, and then you release the brakes. Because then, when you release the brakes, the disc has time to cool. That keeps you from getting fading brakes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely need to do a bit more crosswind landings and takeoff.
Reliance Aviation.
We spend our entire life perfecting crosswind landings, my friend.
That's the 277. You're still on
Me
ground control
included.
frequency.
Sorry about that.
And I go, well, we have a truck here, disregard. Be on that, at least on this sleeve, on that seam right there.
Yeah.
Right a little bit.
Should be clear of the truck now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you.
Alright, let's see if I can make it pretty.
Make a wide turn so you approach it right straight on. Now look at the tie down in front. Stay to your right. Look at the tie down in front. Just keep rolling. Straight ahead. Look right off your nose because they're all lined up together. That's how I do it. And then slightly aft of the tie down. That's good right there.
Good morning. Skyline 287 Tango Charlie, spot 2 with whiskey.
Yep, we're lined up. Alright, shut down.
Skyline 287 Tango Charlie, 10 ground.
Parking brake, avionics switch off.
Good job.